This incident happened in 2018 in a remote village in New York called Sleepy Hollow. The village looks completely normal during the day, but once night falls, a strange silence takes over. Mobile networks barely work, and the electricity comes and goes. I work in Montana, but because of my father's illness, I returned to the village for a few months. The house we stayed in was nearly 60 years old. My grandfather's elder brother used to live there, and he died under mysterious circumstances. There was a saying in the village, "You can't leave the back room of that house open at night." I didn't believe any of it. The first strange incident. It was my third night in the village. Around 3 a.m., my phone suddenly rang. Number unknown. Half asleep, I answered the call, and from the other side came a very familiar voice. "David, will you open the door?" I sat up instantly. My heart started pounding. That voice, it was my younger sister, Jessica. But Jessica died 3 years ago. I shouted, "Who are you?" The call disconnected. I thought it was a nightmare, but when I checked my call log, the call was really there. Time, 3:07 a.m. The old village story. The next day, I told my uncle about what happened. His face suddenly turned serious. He spoke slowly. My uncle's daughter used to get calls exactly like that. I was shocked. "Then what happened?" My uncle said, 3 nights later, she jumped into the pond and died. She kept saying, "It was calling me." My body went cold. The back room. Behind the house, there was a small room, locked. No one used it. I noticed something strange. Every morning, there were muddy footprints on the door of that room, but it hadn't rained. That night, the phone rang again. This time, the voice was different. "I'm alone. It's dark in the room." This voice belonged to my dead grandfather. I couldn't take it anymore. Searching for the truth. There was an old man in the village named Thomas. Everyone said he knew many things. I told him everything. Thomas sighed deeply and said, "What's behind that house is not human." He explained that many years ago, a tantric ritual was performed in that back room. The ritual was left incomplete, so it remained there. It calls people using familiar voices. Those who answer don't live long. The last night, I decided I would leave the village that very day, but at 3:33 a.m., the phone rang again. Before I could even answer, there was knocking on the door. At the same time, a voice came through the phone. "Open the door. I'm already inside." Suddenly, the lock on the back room opened by itself. I saw it. Inside the darkness stood a shadow. It had no face. But the voice belonged to everyone I knew. The last thing I screamed was, "Mom!" Then I saw the shadow was gone. Before morning came, I left for Montana. Since then, I have never returned to that village.